Okay, this is value creation, capture, and migration for physicians. So the concept of value creation works like this. In order for something to be valuable for someone or to someone, it has to meet a specific need that they have. And the more of a need that they have, the more valuable that thing is. Like, you know, best example is after Thanksgiving dinner, you every day afterwards you get that decreasing marginal utility where that turkey sandwich is less delicious. And actually even during the meal as you're like cramming bird in your body, it gets less delicious. So the main thing is that a product or service cannot be valuable to someone at a time that they don't need it. You can't force it on them, you can't make them like it. But if you get a lemonade stand and you wait for the summer, you're good to go. Second concept, so from value creation to value capture, when you have a set of skills that you can package or present in a way such that it solves someone's problem specifically and benefit them, it goes from being a feature, which is just a skill that you have, to a benefit when you explain to them. It's not good enough to just be a magician. If you're a magician with balloon animals and that man happens to need something for his daughter's birthday party, you're right on point. So at that point, your skill set and that opportunity of unmet need allows you to capture that value and generate revenue from it. Third concept is value migration. Business models come out and initially they're valuable if it's the right model, if it hits the needs of the culture at the time. Now, culture changes, and if you continue to have the same business model, not only do competitors come in and copy your model and improve it such that now you're competing for the same market with younger, more agile, more effective delivery mechanisms, but as each service provider, or each service comes into the game, they're going to look at the target audience and they're going to find variations in what you did that part of your market is not satisfied with, and they're going to be siphoning off your market. Your market is shrinking. Okay. So all of that and value migration is eventually your business model becomes rusty, becomes outdated, but you're still doing it because it worked so well back in the day. And you didn't update your specs. You didn't do customer evaluation. You're not getting customer feedback, and you're wondering why your market is shrinking. Now, when the values of the audience or the customers migrates, they don't just kind of trickle off. A lot of times they hate you, and you have things like physician resentment. Another thing is, as the value migrates, if you're part of the machine that is delivering a service, you may not necessarily notice if you're, say, a physician in a hospital and the hospital is now targeting a socioeconomic group that has less revenue. You might feel the pressure. You might feel that your patients are more resentful, more angry, less self-directed, less motivated. But until you look at the overall model of what's happening to your market and how you're being devalued with the service, with you're being commoditized, you won't necessarily understand what's happening. It's like if I all of a sudden had the hottest new songs on 8 track and I'm wondering what this iTunes thing is. So I say all that to say that one of the major value migrations in cultural values that's taking place right now is a movement to wellness, a movement to empowerment of customers. Companies used to have a hero's narrative and the hero's journey. The company was the hero and the customers were like peons. But now the customer is the hero, and the customer doesn't want to have to comply. The customer doesn't want you to push things on them. The customer wants to have their choices, and they pick the items with which they most identify, the things that make them feel most empowered. A paternalistic model, where if you were taught in a system that kind of undermines you, browbeats you into a sense of entitlement, and then you turn around and you're being paternalistic and demeaning to patients, they're not really in for that. Uh, Furthermore, when you're wondering why you feel as if your patients are getting more frustrated, more disenfranchised, uh, it's because your target audience, the people coming into your clinic, by and large, especially as the government starts to get involved in provision of care and recruiting of people, keep in mind that the majority of the population who is capable, who is empowered, who is self motivated, is doing the preventative care. They're not showing up at the hospital. They're not the population maintaining the obesity, the substance use, the poor sleep patterns. The people that have made the move to a healthy lifestyle aren't showing up there. They're focused on wellness. They're anchored on wellness. They're not coming out here to talk to you about conditions that are lifestyle based conditions. So that's sort of the soapbox to go as sort of dessert to the three concepts, three main concepts: value creation, value capture, value migration. They matter because that's how you stay relevant. Or you can sell HREX, break the cage MD.